It's a great question, first and foremost. I think God views me with complete understanding because I am an expression of God. Uh, and I'm expressed in his image and likeness. And I believe that God understands us all, not just myself, but us all more than we understand ourselves. And I think that's what the journey is also about, learning to understand who you are, where you come from, and why you are the way that you are. And I believe that, you know, walking with God allows you to dive into that journey a lot more and fully take on the understanding that needs to take place within yourself in order to create the life and do the things you want to in life. And I think it's important that we value how God views us or thinks of us, because that's exactly how we should think of ourselves ultimately. And I think, especially from a person like myself, I'm very hard on myself. I'm a high achiever, so I want to do well no matter what I do. Anything that I do, I want to be the best at it. And I think that it's easy to critique yourself because we are our biggest critics. But sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace, especially not the grace that God gives us. God gives us all the grace, sometimes more than I think we even deserve, if we're being honest. But I do believe everything happens for a reason and the way that it's supposed to. And I think when you get to a certain point, you get to realize these things. It allows you to understand life itself more than anything. But it has to start with yourself. It has to start with you. And once you start with yourself and you allow God in on the journey, things will get so much easier. So I think it's important that we should value how God views us. Absolutely not.
In what way?
In every way. I think that God, like I said, he looks at us with complete understanding, and I'm very hard on myself. So I don't believe that I give myself the same kind of grace that God gives me, unfortunately. And it's something I'm working on, definitely. But, it's a journey, of course. It's all a part of the journey. You got to learn to improve what you're lacking in. And I feel like one thing that I am lacking in personally is that, and I think a lot of people, to be honest, I think a lot of people don't give themselves especially enough grace to go through the journey. Like, you're not perfect, and it's okay. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna f up. Oh, sorry. Excuse my French. You're gonna mess up. You're not always going to perform to the same level that you would like to, and it's all okay. You have to give yourself grace and allow yourself to be like, you know what, maybe I didn't do good enough this time, but next time I will. And you got to be gentle with yourself. You can't speak to yourself like you're just any random person on the street. You gotta, and that's why I also said, how God views us is how we should view ourselves, because he looks at us with understanding and grace. And that's how you gotta view yourself in order to move forward in a healthy manner. I feel like when you're just rough and per se mean to yourself or so harsh, it kind of slows you down a little bit, because it takes a toll on you after a while if you don't allow yourself to have some grace throughout your life. You don't have it all figured out, and none of us do. And that's all okay. And you have to allow yourself to be okay with that, come to peace with it, because God is God is at peace with it. He understands fully, and we do too. We definitely need to as well. Do you remember that discussion we were having about our viewpoints about Jesus?
Yeah.
And I kind of was basically explaining that I believe that Jesus was brought down to show us what we could do as well. And because I think that the viewpoint of Jesus in a human body was to show us how powerful we are too. We are in God's likeness and image, and and I'm not ever saying that we're going to be as powerful or in his light like that, but what I'm saying is he didn't make us weak either. He made us healers as well. He made us creators, and all of the things that Jesus was doing, we could do as well if we learn to be righteous like he is, if we learn to actually put God first. Only if, though. And not a lot of people are willing to give what it takes in order to accomplish those things in life. That's why people are so limited, but they don't realize God is infinite. That's the part you don't realize. Yes, your mindset can be limited if you exclude God, but God is infinite. That's the part you have to remember. So anything is possible through God, though. I'm definitely ready to abandon the way that I see myself, because I know it's limited, and it's just limiting me from getting to where I need to go. I need to have ultimate faith in myself and in God, and I think that a lot of people misconstrued the idea of having a relationship with God when it's really just having a relationship with yourself, essentially, because God is not apart from you; He's within you too. And if we learn to value those if we learn to value the teachings of God, or even the perspective that He has left us through many different things, we'll see life in a much clearer way. you know I feel like if I learn to replace my self-doubt or my limited beliefs with graciousness and faithfulness, nothing could stop me. I think anything is possible through God, essentially. So, if I just replace my mindset with God's mindset, it's self-explanatory what's possible. Anything is possible through God. So, you know, I think there's infinite possibilities coming from letting go of my mindset towards myself.